excited for it to cool down a little bit because I would like to start kind of getting into camping again. We got the farm out there that we got some space to get to go camping, like true camping under the stars.
And a lot of people ask us, why the hell did they move to Texas? There's a lot of stuff, and I'm here to tell y'all, all the positive things you hear about Texas, it's true. We are featuring one brewery here out of San Antonio, Texas, award-winning brewery. They are Roadmap Brewing Company. At halftime, usually the team runs, to the benches and, they kind of collect, whatever needs to improve or whatever, right? Well, not me, dude. My dad would be on the opposite side, over where the parents were, and it'd be like, Angel, ven aquí, ven teca, ven aquí. And dude, just like that, right? Welcome, everybody, to the 10th episode of the Triple Overtime Podcast. My name is Angel.
I'm Nick.
I am Matt.
And if this is your first time checking us out, man, go ahead, subscribe, follow us throughout Instagram, YouTube, X, and also Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
Spotify,
Yes, sir.
Apple, right? Apple Podcasts?
And Apple Podcasts, baby.
Podcasts.
We're everywhere.
We are.
Everywhere and nowhere. All at once.
At the same time. But hey, before we begin, guys, I want to go ahead and thank all of you military and first responders out there. Thank you for everything you do, motivators. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Freaking daggone good to go. Motivators good to go.
So what we got going on today, boys?
Dude, what's crazy is we were kind of getting stuff wound up for the summer at the shop, and we're starting to plan our trip up to Estes Park, going to Colorado, and so we got a camping trip coming up. I'm pretty excited about it, and it just got me kind of thinking, man, I'm excited for it to cool down a little bit because I would like to start kind of getting into camping again. We got the farm out there that we got some space to get to go camping, like true camping under the stars.
There's a lot of space out there.
Hell
Yeah. So I'm really hoping whenever it kind of cools down, we can start getting back into that. And it was just kind of running some funny camping stories through my head.
Yeah. So the thing about camping, though, is you got to be prepared. You cannot forget anything. You got to bring your flashlight, depending on where you go, right? Bring your flashlight. You got to bring, your sleeping bag or, your tent. Can't forget your fucking tent. And I feel like for me personally, that's kind of the fun thing is kind of gathering all your shit. And then when you get out there, you're like, okay, I got this. I got a fucking fire starter. I got, a little, what do they call it? Those little gas.
Like propane?
Thing. Yeah, a little propane.
Stove?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love camping.
Yeah. It was funny. One time we went camping, and it was whenever I was a senior, still in high school. And so we did a trip to Marble Falls. So Marble Falls is about 2 hours from here, and they have a really, really nice off-roading track. And I don't do anything off-road, but all of my buddies had Jeeps. And they all had, lift kits and everything else. So my buddy Corey, it was myself, Corey, Ian. Nope, Ian couldn't make it. Adam was there. And then we had this guy, Taylor. So it was like all four of us were going to go camping, and they all had Jeeps. So we were going to go bring, I rode with Corey. I think Taylor rode with Adam. So we only had to take two, but it was like, okay, we're going to take two Jeeps so we can go over different trails. One of them had a little bit better lift kit. So it was like, man, this is going to be so cool. We're going to get out there. And first night, like you're talking about being prepared, first night, it was like, dude, we couldn't get a fire going. Like, dude, to save our lives. And it was like, okay, here's some lighter fluid. It would go out. Okay, here's some gas. Put some gas on there. It would burn, and then it would go out. And then it was like at one point, freaking Adam was trying to get like an extractor, and he was like trying to pull oil out of his car, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll just put a little oil on it too."
No way.
And I was like, "All right."
All right.
and I looked over, and there was like a Mexican family over like right to the left or right of us, and it was like huge fire. Everyone's just like having the best time of their life.
No.
And we're just like sitting over here in the dark. We're like, all right, well, I kind of was like, my pride is kind of, I've already hit my limit for it. So I was like, just walked over there and I was like, hey, dude, I can't get a fire going.
And, like, oh my God,
yeah,
this
I was
guy.
just like, dude, I don't know what the shit I'm doing. So he comes over and he goes, "Oh, no, did you try gas?" And I was like, "Yeah, we did that." And he goes, "No. Let me show you." And then he's the one who showed me that trick where you cut the can.
Okay.
So he took the aluminum can, just a regular beer can, and he just cut just like this section off, just the top, and then filled the rest full of gas. And he was okay, now you just light it. And of course I'm thinking, okay, it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
But because the aluminum holds the gas, when you light it, it just burns that top layer, and it'll burn like a tiki torch. So it'll just slowly burn down. So what he told me was, whenever you need to get a fire going, he goes, I always camp with a Gatorade bottle full of gas, and he just uses it for that. So it's like, okay, because you're always going to have beer cans usually, or some can. And yeah, he goes, yeah, man, whenever you want to do it, you just build the fire, and then you stick the can underneath it, and you just light it, and it'll just continuously burn, and then it'll keep everything going.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Nope,
Wow. But that being said, don't try this at home, kids.
You should not. You can, because I have done it in a chimney because somebody was like, "That's bullshit."
Yeah.
But
have some adult supervision. Or
yeah. Dude, if you're not old enough to go buy gas at the gas station, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
But so that's a little camping trick.
Okay.
Was that he kind of taught me. So if you're ever gonna go camping, especially somewhere where it may be like kind of cold, or maybe it might rain, it's gonna be like a wet weekend.
Okay.
You can still start your fire that way, because worst case scenario, it's going to burn that section of wood for like 30 to 40 minutes before it goes out. And hopefully by that point it would have dried off or caught everything else up.
Okay.
So kind of a cool trick.
Marble Falls, you
Yes.
said, right? So that's a pretty, good hot spot, you'd say, for camping, for people out there that don't really know Texas
it's
that
super,
well?
super pretty. After I had gone up there camping, I think I went back for like a BG golf trip or something that I had to go like volunteer at booth at. But it was like, we're back up there, man, and there's just a beautiful river that cuts right through it.
Dang.
There's lots of cool little businesses like right there on the water. They do have some cool camping areas. The biggest reason for us going there was just because they had big tracks that you could go up and down mountains.
Yeah, in the Jeeps.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's
There was
badass.
it had rained that first night that we got there, which was funny because again, you talk about like being prepared. We had like kind of got our tent and everything set up that before we left the house. It was like, okay, we threw it out, and I was fairly sure we checked everything.
Oh.
So we get back, and I'll throw it back in there. 2 days later goes by, we drive down to Marble Falls, so we're already 2 hours from home, and we're like getting set up. And I like toss the bag out, and I'm like, here's pull. Where is like the little octagon piece in the middle that everything connects to?
Oh.
And I was like, fuck, I remember pulling it out, like, and put it in the grass. And it was like, as we're sitting there and we're just trying to figure it out, the other guy who's with us was getting his tent set up, and he was like, the first one to help me set up my tent gets to sleep in it.
Oh, get out of here.
I was like, fuck you, dude. But we ended up finding
That's
it. We
cool.
ended up having it, but it ended up being good because that first night we had like a torrential rainstorm that like the water seeped through our tents.
Ooh.
And we all had to like get out of our tents and sleep in the Jeep.
Damn. So this is right in Texas Hill Country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful area. I mean, I've never been there, but I've been in the Hill Country before, and I can only imagine how fucking awesome that place is.
It's nice, man. It's cool. Again,
So
like,
there's a lot of. I'm sure you could, if you had an RV or something. You could probably.
Yeah, they got a lot of RV options and stuff up there too, but it's just, I don't know. It's a little nicer, a little more expensive part of the Hill Country, but
Yeah.
I think it's super nice.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if you got 2 hours to burn and want to go sit, waterside or shoot.
When I was driving up to get my last tattoo, my artist is, I forgot what it's called. Not Jefferson City. It's somewhere like west of Austin, but you go up through.
Johnson City.
Not Johnson City.
Huh.
It's more east. So it's like in between Johnson City and Austin.
Okay.
But you have to go up through Marble Falls and then head off east to get through it. And I just remember going through Marble Falls and I was like, damn, it's beautiful up here.
Damn.
Like, I want to take a day trip and just like bring Brittany and the kids, and just because we like to go to like, Fredericksburg or Bernie and just walk around. And I'm like, this seems like a real nice place to just like have a day out, walk around, go to the shops, sit by the river, because the river is massive. It's big. But I mean, then this was
It's big.
what was it, summer? So it was like right after we got back from our trip, and there's lots of there's a lot of people doing like water sports and stuff like that up there. So
It's fun, dude.
it is pretty. I've only driven through it though.
I've seen a lot of Instagram reels showcasing like that area, like Dripping Springs. What's the other one? Marble Falls and all that. Dude, you definitely need to check it out if you're.
Especially in the fall. I'm sure the fall foliage starts kicking in.
Ooh, yeah.
Which we are officially in fall now.
Definitely, it's 90 some degrees now.
Dude, sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Let's say we were at a cool 95 degrees.
Oh yeah, it feels nice, man. When you're driving, you roll down the window. It's
it's
starting
like-
to feel nice.
I mean, it's nice when you wake up in the morning and it's like I'm going to get the car packed with the kids and stuff, and I roll up the garage door. I feel that fresh morning air coming. I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's nice and crisp. I'm like, yes,
Hell yeah.
all right. Even though it's like 72 and crispy, like it's better than what it's been. It's better than the whole like wake up in the morning it's 88. But yeah, I had a question for y'all in regards to camping.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to camping, are you guys more of the like traditional old school camping tents, or are you more of like you'd rather
glamper?
have like a trailer or an RV?
I personally, I like just regular camping.
Yeah.
I will, I'll modify it a little bit and say I'll put a cot in there, so I'm not just on the ground.
Yeah.
Or maybe a blow up mattress if I can get one. But I don't know. I like tent camping. Glamping's great also.
Right.
But I don't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like I'm the same way. I like the traditional camping, stuff like that. I don't know. It just feels like you're within,
It's
nature.
camping.
It's
Freaking
camping.
dadgum, man. I am nature.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like whenever, because we used to camp a lot as kids with my dad, and we did nothing but tent camping, and like every now and then you go fishing. Like we camp on some of the lakes out there in California, and you catch fish, and then we just bring it over and cook it over the fire and eat that, and which we didn't catch many fish, but when we did, that's what we did. But it's like something about just kind of disconnecting from like the busyness of life. I feel like I went one time with my uncle, my dad's brother. He had like a real nice like RV, like an RV, right? And he went down in San Diego, in Mission Bay. There's like this like whole like camp, like it's camping, but it's just everyone in their RVs just lined up, and you're super close to each other, and they're like, we're camping at the beach. It's like, is this really? Because you're either out on the beach, like you're at the beach like in the water, or you're back at your RV and you're sitting inside playing friggin' like Xbox or whatever, and it's like that's not really camping to me. Like camping is like I'm roughing it, and it's like we would cook our food. Like we'd have like a propane stove, but it's always fun to just like cook your food over the fire, like especially when you're like a young boy. It just makes you feel like I'm a man. Look, I got my hot dog on a stick over an open fire.
Yeah, I know. Whenever we were, just learning how to camp, and learning how to like hunt and shoot and everything else. I'd go down to the farm as a kid. Once I got old enough to be trusted to shoot and everything else, my parents and my grandma who used to live down there, my aunt, her rule was, if you want to go hunting, want to go shoot something, you can, but anything you kill, you're skinning it.
Yeah.
Because you're not killing these things for fun.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot it, you're going to use the meat. You're going to make it mean something.
Yeah.
So it was like, when he was talking about, get your meat on the grill. I just remember it was like, freaking skin them, toss the guts out there, and then you get like after like 40 minutes of dicking with it, you're like, I got a fucking leg this big. Yeah. You're like hoping and praying that you get the disease off of it. And of course, it's like, hey, how is it? Is that good? Oh, it's great.
It's delicious.
Hell yeah, I did this. And you're just like,
That's why I'm chewing on it for so long, because it's delicious.
I'm savoring the flavor. Realistically, you're like, fuck.
That's great, man.
I think this thing's going to get me sick.
Yeah. You got to be careful with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the most like beautiful places I've ever camped was the Grand Canyon. So we went. I don't camp on the Grand Canyon. That's not safe. like right on the edge. Don't do that. But like right outside, I remember when we were younger, like right outside the entrance to Grand Canyon National Park, there's like a big campground. And we camped there with like my dad and my stepmom, my brother and my stepbrother. And I think my stepmom was pregnant with our youngest at the time. I can't remember. But we were out there, and my dad loves to just like mess with us. And he knows that, like, growing up especially, we were big ass chickens, dude. Like, so I was afraid of like every like monster thing, or like, so I didn't mess with anything. And at nighttime, just one thing that I just always remember, a funny story is, we in the campground, there's like a fence and a gate, and you can go off and there's like hiking trails, right? And if you've ever been near the Grand Canyon, there's beautiful like forest surrounding it. And so my dad was like, hey, can you go out there and just like go check that rock for me or something like that? And I'm like, no, Dad, it's dark. It's like 9 p.m. Like, it's like pitch black out there, just lit by the campfire, right? He's like, no, I think I left, my flashlight or my buck knife out there. Like, can you guys go check for me? My dad, I don't want to. It's dark. I can't see. He's like, just go. You'll be fine. We're watching. You're right here. There's nothing out here. So I start walking out, open the gate, walk out into the forest, and my dad takes some rocks and just chucks them out there. Oh. So that it, when it hits the ground, it makes a noise, dude.
Yeah.
I freaked the fuck out, dude. He threw them, and then I'm just like, and I just booked it back. I was like, oh my God, there's something out there. I think it was a bear. I don't know. And he's like, you big chicken, that was just me. I was just throwing that. You guys a bunch of sissies out here. Get back over here. I was like, God, dude, now I'm traumatized.
Yeah, now you're
acting like a bunch of sissy girls.
Yes. This is why I don't go camping anymore.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't go into dark forest because of that story.
Great fucking memories, dude. But
Love
speaking of Texas, Marble Falls and everything.
Okay.
With everybody kind of moving to Texas nowadays, especially the last, 3-4 years, you'd say.
For sure.
I mean, there's two of us at this table that aren't originally from Texas.
That's it.
Right? And a lot of people ask us, and probably, a lot of people think, like, why the hell did they move to Texas? There's a lot of stuff, and I'm here to tell y'all, all the positive things you hear about Texas, it's true. There's a lot to do. Like we were talking about, there's a lot of places to go camping. There's, rodeos. There's a yearly annual rodeo that we attend every year. The last couple of years that we've been here.
Every year.
Yeah, every year, the last couple of years.
We've never missed one.
Yeah. But there's just so much to do, man. And it's such a big state. I love it. I personally love it. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I moved here is probably, besides, something new and exciting and everything, is probably the culture, man. There's a big culture here, a big variety of cultures all mixed into one. And like back when I was in the Marine Corps and people would say they're from Texas, I'm like, okay, I know where Texas is.
Here's another one.
Here's another one. I
all
get
right,
it.
cowboy.
Okay.
This guy can't even read.
Yeah. But after being here, or after visiting back in like 2019, that was the first time that Alyssa and I came and visited, and we just fell in love with it. Literally, not even kidding, we can go ask Alyssa right now. When we stepped off the plane and we got out into the park in the garage to pick up our rental car, we took a deep breath and we're like, damn, I don't know why we're feeling this type of way, but it feels like home. We're like, oh my God. So obviously we went the whole weekend, exploring the city of San Antonio, and there's a lot to do in San Antonio. And, the culture here itself just kind of big reason too why we picked this spot. But
resonates with you?
Yeah, it does. There's a big,
The
Spanish.
Ortiz,
Yeah. There's a big Spanish history here.
I can tell you, dude, you fit in better here than Wisconsin, probably.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Don't get me wrong, I like Wisconsin too, but this feels like home, dude. I don't know why. Wisconsin didn't really feel like home. I don't know. Maybe it's the culture thing.
Too many white people.
Okay. I wasn't gonna say it, but
I'll just say it for you.
said it.
Coming from the white guy.
Yeah.
Hey.
With a little, I got a dash of Mexican in me. Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest reason. Obviously,
It's too cold for pigment up there, dude.
way too cold. Yeah, it gets hot here, but I mean, I don't mind the heat.
Yeah, but it's like you bronze down here.
Yeah, you bronze
Yeah.
and you sweat your ass off, which helps you lose weight if you exercise in it.
So far, I have not experienced that. I wish I did.
But a lot of stuff played.
I mean, the humidity does keep your skin nice and moist.
It does.
Yeah, so I don't dry out.
Yeah.
Dude, and the other thing is, it's like, dude, we're 9 hours across from the middle.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
like there's so many things to do. Definitely, again, you know, like Marble Falls is great, but I know one place that I want to go, I want to plan it with Rachel is I want to go out to the McAllen Observatory
Ooh,
out in
okay.
West Texas, but I want to try and plan it on a time that it's going to be pretty clear.
That's out there near Big Bend.
Past that, it's way out there.
Is it?
It's
I
like,
don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's all the way down to like El Paso, but it's.
Yeah.
Figure hop on I-10, just head that way.
Yeah. Just go that way.
Just
You'll hit
go.
it.
Yeah, dude, just hop on I-10 and just set, yeah. It's not like, oh man, we got 300 miles. It's like, yeah, brother, you got 10 hours. Get comfortable.
Shit. But yeah, man. I mean, and on top of that, man, it's a big, military city here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Which one of the biggest reasons why I moved here. I wanted to be around people that were like-minded, like I went through some of the same stuff that I did, and you can definitely tell anywhere you go. There's always veterans out there. You always, you sit at a bar and 9 times out of 10 there's going to be a veteran sitting at the bar with
Just
you.
clocking haircuts on the way in.
Yeah.
Dude, anything.
I do, man.
Anything this high, it's like, what's up, devil?
Yeah. But yeah, that was a reason. And of course, politics played a big part into it. Wisconsin, we all know, is not, just the politics there didn't really align with, my morals and my, what kind of.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me about
But-
the politics where I came from.
Yeah. Wasn't as bad as where you came from, but why did you move here, Nick?
Why did I move here?
Yeah.
Gosh, so it's really interesting because, Brittany and I we always talked about leaving California. Ever since we were engaged, our initial plan was to go to Michigan because I have I have family in Grand Rapids. And we visited there and loved it. Like, it's really cool. And still love it. Like, Grand Rapids is a really neat place. But then, my in-laws were like, you guys can stay in our little attached casita when you guys get married, and rent free, save up money for a house. So we did that, and then we got pregnant with Annabelle, and then it's just like you kind of get into life and everything.
Pivot.
Yeah, and
Stick and pivot.
really the big thing that finally drove us out was honestly COVID. Being in California, so at first no one knew what the fuck was going on with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and we were just kind of complying, if you will, and doing your part, at first. But once things started coming out and they dragged on, especially in California, we kind of grew real tired of it. It was just mask forever. And I remember whether you are, pro-mask, anti-mask, pro-vax, anti-vax, I don't give a shit. Just let me do my thing. If you want to wear it, and all this shit, just do what you feel is comfortable for you. But our thing was don't be forcing all this stuff onto other people, when really there wasn't a whole lot of data to really back it up in the end, right? And so
it's I remember a lot of people, especially in California, were upset whenever it was that video came out with Nancy Pelosi just doing her
or in
thing.
Gavin Newsom up at his winery, and he's just having a dinner party, and we're
Are you kidding me?
dude, I can't go to the gym, but you can have a party at your winery. That's cool. And so now luckily for us, we lived in Riverside County, which is a pretty conservative county. They do exist in California. We're just always outvoted by the mass number of people who live in San Francisco and Los Angeles and now San Diego too. But I remember our sheriff came out, was like, we're not gonna, I know the governor gave all these mandates but we're not gonna force them. So you guys just do you. And you're like, thank you, Chad Bianco. I think that was his name. But anyways, that's beside the point. Now we're just getting we're off the actual question of why did I move to Texas. But that has played a big part, right? So, we eventually were just like, listen, if we've talked about it, if we're gonna do it, now is the perfect time because Anna wasn't in established in school yet, and the kids were still young. Where it would be hard for us as a family, but it's not like
like you're uprooting all their friendships.
Yeah, all their friendships, and like, yes, they love their grandparents and their aunts and uncles and cousins like deeply, but at the same time they're so young that they don't really understand exactly what all this distance means. So we thought that now is the time, and also we owned a house and the housing market was fucking crazy, and so it was like, we know we could sell, like this is a good time to sell too, because we can get what we thought was peak, turns out wasn't quite the peak yet, but we still got a lot more than I would pay for our old little house. And so we sold, and but before we sold, we thought, okay, where are we gonna go? Michigan? No, that was kind of out of the question now. We were looking at Tennessee, specifically like the Knoxville area. We were looking there. I kind of researched some stuff, but then I remember seeing you, move and be like, we're moving to San Antonio, or you moved already. And I was like, tell me about it. And so you told me about it. I researched more, and I was like, I've always thought great things about Texas. Is any state perfect? No, but Texas is damn near it.
Hell yeah,
it's
brother.
God's country, baby.
It's a daggum republic. Good to go.
All right. And so looking more at it, we're like, we just kind of talked it over. And here's the kicker. We moved here, okay, without ever visiting. I ain't never visited San Antonio before. The only parts of Texas I've been to up in the Panhandle, like I've been to Amarillo and Lubbock, but never visited San Antonio before. Okay, I'm just going based off what I'm researching and what you were saying, because we didn't know each other at the time, And so going off that, we were like, we should just fucking do it. And Brittany looked at me and said, listen, if you can land a job, because obviously we're not going to commit to moving somewhere if we don't got jobs. She's like, if you can get a job, then we'll do it. And I literally applied on like a Wednesday or something, like a Tuesday. I had 3 interviews on Wednesday because as a special education teacher, like there's always a need. That's one good thing about having that credential. So probably on Tuesday, had like interviews on Wednesday. And at the end of every interview, they were like, do you want the job? And I said,
wow.
let me think about this. I've never had to mull over offers before.
Yeah.
So kind of like looked over the offers, dude. And then picked right here.
It was like signing day when you finally picked one.
Yeah,
it was like
the baseball caps. Yeah, it's
like I am bringing my talents to South Beach, But yeah, so it was like, then we just made it happen, and we decided like we're gonna move, and Brittany's company that she worked for, a physical therapy office, was like super understanding, and they were like, she's like, I don't know if there's a way that I can do my work from home for you guys. I'm not sure. And they're like, definitely. And so we're like, it's just all lined up.
Yeah.
And then, I just remember like driving out, because I drove out. Brittany waited behind with the kids for a little while, and then flew out with her mom and the kids a couple days after I got here. And I just remember like driving out. It was emotional, like I cried as I left the driveway, because it's like, you sell your first house. There's a lot of memories, like brought Grant home in that house and stuff. And it's like driving out and then coming out here. And I just remember just like started pulling up, and I'm like, damn, so this is home now, huh?
Oh, shit.
It's just like a weird feeling, because I'm like, I'm like, from like military perspective, you guys have had to move to places that you're unfamiliar with. I haven't really had that except for college. So it's like, where the fuck am I? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what is H.E.B?
Yeah.
I see these things everywhere. Is there an Albertsons? Dude?
What a burger?
Is there a Vons? Yeah. What a burger.
I forgot about Vons.
Is there a Stater Bros around
Vons,
here?
Stater Bros, Ralph's. Dude, I'm like, where are the options?
Dude, I will say I used to love Stater Brothers.
It was
Stater Bros got some deals. But, it's like you move here and you're just like, okay. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting rid of these fucking California plates, dude, because I don't want to be from California no more. Okay?
That's when everybody was riding your ass on the highway,
dude,
and you're like, what the
fuck? I'm not one of those. I'm not trying to California or Texas, okay? I'm trying to Texas. I'm trying to keep Texas red. Okay. Like, especially during election season, you see people be like, don't fucking, all these Californians coming over here and turning us purple. And I'm like, don't put me in there.
Yeah.
I'm keeping you a little more shade of red. Okay. Trust me. Like, and, that's another thing is like, there's real big emotions with all the, especially Californians moving to Texas, right? I mean, you see T-shirts and bumper stickers and all sorts of stuff. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is they are also feeding into that media frenzy of like all these like liberal Californians moving to Texas, which don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them coming from because of work, like they're not really choosing to come here. A lot of them are coming here for work or things like that. But, I feel like I have met personally being here and also meeting other people from California. I have met way more conservatives from California coming here than I am liberals. Now I don't care what you vote for. You do you. Just let me be me. Okay. Like I'm not saying one side or the other. I'm not like trying to outcast nobody. I respect everybody. And I, value everyone's opinion, but it's like, it just kind of like, we're not all trying to turn Texas blue. Like a lot of us have come here to escape blue California.
Exactly.
Because we like red Texas and we want to keep it red. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of people here. Yeah. And exactly. I've met a lot of people too that are from all over the country that have just moved here, just like I did. We're newbies, right? We're newbies around here, and we talk about it, and it's like, yeah, we escaped the shit that we didn't want to be surrounded, but we want to live our lives. We call ourselves the freedom refugees, because that's what it is, man. Yeah, but I love it here.
Oh, me too. And like you mentioned, there's so many great things, especially like. From our perspective,
Buc-ee's.
Being from
Buc-ee's.
Hey. I remember doing my first time Buc-ee's. I was like, "What the fuck is this place?
It's the cleanest bathrooms you'll ever see."
Dude, I would eat a meal in there, dude.
Yeah, dude, they probably have a bathroom manager, dude, who
makes like $90K a year, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I just remember like when that Buc-ee's came up, the one that is over by New Braunfels, it was like I was hanging out with my dad or something because I was at their house, and he was like, "Man, a root beer slushy from Buc-ee sounds real good right now." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that sounds real good." And he was like, "I'm going." And he drove all the way to Buc-ee's to get a slushy.
Don't get me wrong, and the beaver nuggets.
Yeah, the beaver nuggets are great, but it's like, I mean, they come in a pack of 150, and then you'll eat the first 4, and you're like, okay, I've hit my sugar level for the day.
What does it say? Fresh brisket on the bar.
Yeah.
Right?
And the jerky. The beef jerky is fucking amazing.
Dude, they're like cooking.
If you guys don't know what Buc-ee's is, like, y'all got to get out to a Buc-ee's. Yeah. They have a dude or a woman. I don't know. I know what they are. But they walk around in the big old Buc-ee's mascot, like, costume. Fucking taking pictures with people. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Does your gas station have a mascot?
Dude, I drove there just to try to get their holiday shirt. Like,
oh, really?
July, I was like, I got to get me one of them Buc-ee's 4th of July shirts because they come out with, like, the holiday themed shirts, like whenever holidays coming up. Yeah. And so I was like, Brittany, I got to go to Buc-ee's to try to get a shirt. I legit drove from here. It's a 30-minute drive, with some traffic. I drove all the way over there just to find out that, well, they don't have my size anymore. Okay, I was too late.
Damn it.
So right now I'm like, in my mind, I'm already thinking I got to go get that Halloween one because I got a Thanksgiving one already. Okay, it says thankful, blessed, and Buc-ee's obsessed. Okay.
Dang. Okay.
But I got to go get the Halloween one.
Dude, I just love
That's badass.
I love that the Buc-ee's they do their own holiday.
Yeah,
shit.
and they're taking over, dude. They're opening a location up in Madison, Wisconsin, right outside of Madison, Wisconsin. So they're coming to a fucking city near you.
We're invading.
Yes. Yeah, they are invading.
Now, the only thing that I will say that Texans will, like, I can't get aboard on board with it, and I know that I'll get some shit for it. Okay, and I accept that. But In-N-Out's better than Whataburger. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. It's just what I grew up with. It's preference. Okay,
Okay.
I mean, I respect y'all's opinion.
Yeah.
But to me, like Whataburger is just like it's nothing special. Now I do like it. I mean, I had it for lunch the other day. I was like, I'm gonna stop at Whataburger and get one of them jalapeno cheeseburgers. You know,
Ooh.
it's good.
I'm a patty melt kind of guy.
I'm a patty melt kind of gal as well.
You're a patty melt whore.
All right, I'm a
Patty melt slut, baby.
Put that shit in my mouth and
That's
Yeah,
funny.
it's
So what is I'd say, what is one of the biggest culture shocks? I'd say your top culture shock moving from California to Texas. What would you say it was?
Ooh, culture shock. Damn, that's a good one. There's what was it? I think I was just talking about before. Man, you go first, man. I'm trying to think.
I think for me, one of the biggest culture shocks is probably how nice everybody is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice people in Wisconsin, and you know,
Very
the Midwest nice thing is a thing. But I feel like here is just, it's different, man. It's just way different. Like when we first visited, everybody was super friendly. We told them we were just visiting, and everybody's super friendly. And this was downtown San Antonio, one of the biggest, tourist destinations in Texas. Probably, the biggest tourist destination in Texas. So you'd think they'd be sick of all these tourists coming here, but no, dude. Everywhere we would go, they're just super nice, super friendly. And now that we live right outside of city limits, it's like times 10, right? That's probably one of the biggest things to get used to. On top of that, with saying yes sir, no ma'am, that's part of the culture here. You say it, and it's grown on me.
For sure.
I mean, in a great way, right? It's
great way.
Yeah. But
yeah. I mean, it's funny because I totally understand what you're saying, and like the no sir, no ma'am, like I always had that respect for like elders and like my parents growing up, but we never did the no sir, no ma'am thing. But now it's like that's what I'm teaching my kids.
Yeah.
Like they refer to me as no sir, yes sir, and like to Brittany as like no ma'am, yes ma'am. And I'm like, that's not how I raised, but it's just like being here. I'm like, that's how I'm raising my kids because that's just how it is, I would say probably the biggest, I guess, culture shock would be like the obsession with two things. One, just that Texas pride, it was instant. In California, it's like being from California is cool. It's like, oh yeah, dude, I love California, dude. We got the within 2 hours drive distance, dude, I can go to the desert, the snow in the mountains, and the beach at within 2 hours of everything. It's like it's awesome. Or like that Southern California culture is like, oh dude, like it's sweet, dude. It's mellow, it's chill, dude.
It's so rad, dude.
Yeah, that's right. We shred the gnar, dude. But like here, it's like it's like there wasn't that like California pride, where it's like here, it's like Texas pride. Like you are fucking proud to be from Texas.
And dude, I've noticed that from even Hispanics or Mexicans that live here. You'd ask them, "Oh, are you Mexican?" "No, I'm Texan." That's right. It's like, oh, all right,
yeah,
okay.
Dude. I mean, dude, Texas is the greatest country on earth, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely to secede, right? I want to get one of those hats that look like the Make America Great Again, but it says make Texas a country again. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. The way we're going,
Yeah.
But there's that, and then the other thing is just like to go along with the Texas, like being a proud Texan is also like the obsession and pride with things that are Texas, like H.E.B.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand that. When people were like, oh, like we knew a lady who was actually from this area before we moved here. She's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love H.E.B. Oh my gosh, H.E.B. is just, it's the best. I miss it so much. And I'm like, what the fuck is H.E.B? And they're like, it's a grocery store. Like, it's like the best thing. Like, like Albertsons and stuff like is great, but like, H.E.B. is just, and I'm like,
what the hell?
A grocery store?
Yeah.
And you get here, and at first, like we were in New Braunfels, on the north side of New Braunfels, when we first moved here, and they had like a newer H.E.B. And I'm just like, it's a grocery store, I guess, dude. Like it's okay, you know. Like I get my food here, you know, whatever. But dude, now, dude, I got an H.E.B debit card. Dude, we got the app, dude, and I'm like always looking out for the free meal deals, you know. And it's like, dude, fucking I go back home, and I'm like, you know, like when we visit our family, it's like, oh, we gotta go get something at
ain't no H.E.B. What the fuck?
It's like you gotta go back and, you know, it's like, oh, can you go to run to the Albertsons and get this? Like, sure, but you know, I'm thinking, I'm like, ain't no H.E.B though.
You're like, you're like, pussy, let me get some brisket queso and change your life.
Exactly, right.
Hell
Actually,
yeah, dude.
It's so interesting. I was just telling Brandon, we had at school, we had like a nacho bar, like little thing, right? Like on Friday, where it's like, you know, everyone just like pitched in something, you know, and all the staff came up and during lunch got the nacho bar. And one of the things that everyone made, you know, like so many people make queso, but they all had like their own recipe, you know, like meat queso or like this with cream cheese in it and all this stuff. And I told Brittany, I was like, before we moved here, dude, I might have heard the term queso, but I didn't really it's not a thing in California. Queso's not a thing. But out here it's like fucking queso is the shit, and everybody has their own like their own version of it, like their own recipe for queso. And I'm like that, and so that's like another thing I just thought of, you know, was like fucking queso, dude. Especially that brisket queso at H.E.B. There are some things where I'm like sometimes I'm like, what should I have for dinner? And then, you know, we go to H.E.B. and I'm like, damn, that brisket queso looks good.
Yeah, or you just like cruise past where they have like all the pre-made meals.
Yeah.
And then there's just the guy who's just casually just slow
Yeah.
cooking turkey legs.
Yeah.
Just like, howdy.
Yeah.
So from a local's perspective,
Okay.
right? Somebody,
Do you mind having us here?
Day one.
born and raised here in Texas.
That's it, brother.
What's your feeling towards outsiders coming into Texas?
People like us.
People like us.
Tell us how you really feel.
I think Texas is the best. First of all,
It's the best.
It's number one. I think that Texas is the best because one, we're just welcoming, and it's like I love it when new people come. What it gets to be kind of shitty is when new people come, and it's not even just like from California. People will come and they'll just see the way things are, and they'll just be like, "This is dumb," and it's like,
yeah, I hate that.
all right, and
Yeah.
that's where I think you can kind of get people that are like, dude, why does everybody love it here? Why does everyone love the Alamo? And it's like, pussy, it's fucking history.
Right.
I mean, we even learned about the Alamo
You know.
in history.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about it.
I don't know. I love it. One of the things I thought that was I was thinking about it when we all were kind of going back and forth about people coming and moving. When I went and got my concealed handgun license, I was sitting in there, and they're asking a couple questions all around the room, and the instructor was kind of just like, "Hey, who here's a transplant?" And nobody said anything. And he goes, "Okay, who here's from California?" And so one dude put his hand up, and of course, as soon as he puts his hands up, everyone,
Dude, I say that now, like when we have like trainings or something, people are like, anybody from out of state? And someone's like, I moved here from California. I'm like, boo.
That's funny.
But yeah, so this guy's like getting like, boo, fuck this guy. And so he's like, yeah. He goes, I know. I'm sorry. He goes, I'm here from California. I know everybody here carries. I want to learn more, and I want to be responsible if I do carry. And then of course everyone's like, shit, fuck, okay.
Hell yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too. California, like that was another like, not so much like maybe a culture shock because like I'm used to being around firearms, being like from my dad was Marines, sheriff officer, sheriff deputy, and then my father-in-law, law enforcement as well. So it's like I'm not afraid of firearms. I've grown up around them, but I remember I got my first like rifle out in California. And, you had to take a test to show that you knew like basic gun safety, and then you purchase the gun, and then you have to come back in 10 days to pick it up. They have a 10-day waiting period. Whereas like out here, dude, I was over at Academy when I got my Glock, and I was went in there, filled out the little background check form, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna run this, just hang tight here. Like 30 minutes later, they're like, all right, let's take you up to the front counter. I'm like, shit.
You're walking out to your car. Hell yeah, baby.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was.
You mean I can just I want to get my license, my concealed carry license, because I know there's some places like H.E.B. you can't conceal. You're not supposed to conceal carry unless you have a license, right? And it's also just it helps you like legally, you're more legally defensible should shit go down.
Yeah.
But it's like I remember like the few times that I have carried, I'm like, dude, in California, this is just straight up illegal.
Yeah,
unless you're an officer, like my father-in-law does, but he's an officer, So it's like, dude, if I'm doing this in California, I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
But like out here, I'm free. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude, I 100% agree, dude.
All right. Well, it's that time of the pod, boys.
It is that
The best time in the pod.
Drink of the day, baby.
Okay.
Drink.
Okay.
We
I'm-
got
Of the
day. Hey, so so this week, actually, we are featuring one brewery here out of San Antonio, Texas, award-winning brewery.
That is correct.
I want to get that straight. They are Roadmap Brewing Company here in San Antonio, and they have a wide selection of beers on tap. They're my favorite. I'd say one of my favorites here in San Antonio.
I think so far of the ones I've tried locally here in San Antonio, definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's ones that are good for like hanging out and like go out with the kids, but like in terms of just straight, how is their beer? This is my favorite.
Spot
Very
on.
good. It's very good. They had one, like he was saying, it ended up winning one of the awards. And I wanted to bring it on the pod, but they only had made one keg for work, and then the other keg was to send off.
Yours is an award winner.
Yeah.
This one is an award winner as well.
Bronze.
It's beautiful.
Says they're right there.
So this right here is going to be the Craven Cottage English Pub Ale, like you said, from Roadmap Brewing. It is great. This is the actual first time that I've had it today. It's just nice. It feels like it has kind of like almost like a little sweeter or almost like a chocolatey kind of taste to it.
Okay. What's the name of it again?
This one is called the Craven Cottage.
Okay.
Raven Cottage.
So
Is that where Fulham plays? Fulham Football Club?
Oh, that would
I
explain
think
the. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. That would explain the
I'm about to look it up,
picture
dude.
on there.
yeah, I
Dude, this
guess
is
so.
my very limited English Premier League knowledge.
So it's got
in
a
the Premier League.
so it's got a soccer dude.
Yeah,
kicking a soccer ball.
It does have a soccer dude who appears.
It is Fulham Football. Club
Okay.
from the English Premier League, plays at Craven Cottage.
Okay, well, so every time you drink these, dude, you're saying I love soccer. Pretty much.
So where did you see it was a bronze star or a bronze medal winner?
It's down here.
Oh, down there. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a little.
It's got the little bronze one.
Nice.
Yeah, the other one that I wanted to bring on, I think, was the Kentucky Derby. I think that's what it's called.
Kentucky Derby.
Or the something Derby. And it was, I think it ended up getting the silver.
Silver,
Came in
yeah.
second, but it was really good.
Yeah. We'll put the name up here of the name of the beer.
They even
but-
make the little crest on the front here look kind of like the Fulham crest.
Well, and they have it
I
on.
wonder if like
wonder
the
if they
owner
own it.
has some sort of connection.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They have a lot of.
They're going to have, what is it, Wrexham? The one that Ryan Reynolds owns?
Yeah.
They're only going to be serving aviation gin at the whole
Oh really?
stadium. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, dude.
It'd just be like, there's no water fountains. It's just aviation gin.
What about you, brother?
All right, so I got a really good Vienna lager this week. How do you say that?
Slip and slide.
Fruit? No, this one. Not slip and slide. Freudian slip and slide. What does Freudian mean again? What does that mean?
It's
Freudian
from
slip?
that psychologist Freud
So basically, what it means is
and the Freudian slip.
the Freudian slip is. I googled it earlier, and basically, it's like saying something out loud without saying it, or some shit like that. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, yeah. Alyssa actually told me that. She's like, "Oh, do you know what that means?" I'm like, "Nope."
Freudian slip. Here, let's Google it.
And she googled it, and she told me what it meant, and I'm like, "Oh,
Can't
that's
think of it
cool."
off the top of my head.
But it's got an old guy, probably in his 80s, 90s maybe.
Ooh.
Going.
It's an unintentional error regarded as revealing subconscious feelings. So it's
Yeah.
like you let something slip,
Yeah,
like that you're thinking about subconsciously
yeah,
without
like when Biden
without
said.
meaning to.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
See, those are just slips, dude. Like he
Those are just
slips down the
slips.
stairs, he slips on his bike, slips
No.
across the graduation stage.
But it's a great beer, man. It is for ages over 21, so you got to be 21 to drink this. That's what it says on the can.
Obviously.
Yep, 5.5% alcohol.
Unless you're in Vienna, right? Austria, I'm pretty sure they're like
Yeah.
16, 18 years old.
Probably. Or Mexico, you're like 12. But great beer, really great beer. Actually, I poured it into a glass earlier, and it had a really nice caramel color to
Caramel
it.
color?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I know.
Usually when I think of Vienna's, it's more like a champagne color.
Okay. No,
But-
it had a... You want me to pour it?
Yeah, dude. Just like I did last week.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't
No,
know.
but it was
You just
good.
Get a sample glass out.
Obviously, obviously they use Vienna grain for that. So, but anywho, great beer. I recommend it if you're in San Antonio, or if you get access, if you're in one of those memberships or subscriptions out there that maybe carries this. I don't know. It might be a long shot, but check it out, man.
Just
great beer.
anything from Roadmap is good.
Yeah, they are.
Like when we went last time, we tried a few different ones, and I think I've been like 2 or 3 times now. And each time I like to try, different brews. And every single one I've never had one where I'm like, not good. I'm like, whatever they're trying to make, they always do it really, really well.
Yeah, they do. What do you got, Nick?
Well, I have. This is Peyton Manning's forehead. Now,
Dude,
this is an Imperial IPA. Okay, it's 9%. Y'all know how I like.
That's a heavy.
I like my heavy hitters. But look at this can. Look at how big his fucking forehead is.
that takes
I
him up
mean,
like
dude,
30% of the can right there.
Dude, it's hilarious. And I mean, when I was choosing one from Roadmap, it was between this and their double IPA, which is a minivan dad. Because I'm like, I don't have a minivan, but as a dad, like I wouldn't mind one, to be honest. I think we talked about it before. It's like there's some cool ass minivans out there. I ain't gonna lie, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I went with Peyton Manning's forehead, which I think is just like, instead of trying to come up with a more subtle name, they just went straight for it, dude. Just Peyton Manning's forehead.
They said that bitch got a 5 head.
It's fucking huge. So I went with this one because back when it was my first year of teaching, okay, my first or second year of teaching, and I was at the high school level, and I was leaving, or I wasn't leaving yet, or something like that. I can't remember when it was, okay. The 9%'s getting to me. But we, I think it might have been Christmas or something. I told my students, I was like, listen, this is the only time Mr. Shoop is going to give you, like, permission to roast me. Okay, I want you guys to tell me, what does Mr. Shoop need for Christmas? Okay, what does Mr. Shoop need for Christmas? And I was like, as long as it's appropriate, please keep it appropriate. Because these are high school kids, so you gotta lay down the rules first,
Oh,
right?
Dildo's about to come out.
Yeah,
Of the
they're like penis in the mouth, and it's like no. But there was a lot of like funny ones, but one I remember, and I think I still have like either the post or I still have the papers of the suggestions that the kids wrote in some like box somewhere. But one of them said, for Christmas, Mr. Shoop needs a helmet because he's got a forehead bigger than Peyton Manning's.
Dang.
And I was like, I know, like I got that on my dad's side, like we got a receding hairline. On my mom's side, it's like a widow's peak. My brother Adam, he has the widow's peak thing going on, so that's why he kind of like really like shaves his head down, like buzzes it good. But on my dad's side, ours just goes back, and I know it's going back. Every time I brush my hair in the morning and comb it and make it all nice, I find one more little stray hair right on the front, dude. Thinking like,
It's the last
am I?
survivor.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's sad.
He's the last.
Hold the line.
he is holding that front line. I'm like, I'm sorry, brother. You
You're
just
like-
look awkward. I get the tweezers down, just pluck that bitch.
No,
and
you got to put mascara on it to make it look thicker, and then it
Juice 'em up.
juice it up, dude. You got to give him some steroids, dude. He
Dude,
needs
fuck
that.
no, dude, I'm full Peyton Manning, okay? So that's why I chose this one, because I was like, I can resonate with the whole Peyton Manning, because I have been called Peyton Manning's forehead before. So I resonate with this beer, It says a big beer for a big head, But it is tasty.
That's so funny.
It's definitely, I mean, I know some people, they taste a 9% Imperial IPA and they go, oh my gosh, the alcohol is up. It's not overpowering. Okay. Like, now that might just be me, my preference. I kind of like that, a little bit of the burn from the alcohol on the tongue, but it's got little like sweet notes in it, so it's not like an overpowering alcohol feeling or taste. But I dig it. I mean, anything that's got Peyton Mann's forehead on it, give it to me, brother.
That's it, baby.
Hell yeah. I like it. Yeah, good round.
That's such a funny can.
I know. When I saw it, I was like, "Are you serious? That is the coolest can I've ever seen."
I hope Peyton Manning at least had to sign
Right? I mean,
Unless
you
you
guys
just
are like, what the fuck?
Go to the store and be like, bitch.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Imagine.
watch the Manning cast like for some of the Monday Night Football games?
Yeah, him and Eli are so...
They're hilarious,
Dude, they're doing side quests.
Yeah.
They have completed all their main missions, dude. They're just doing side missions.
I love it. Now we got Arch Manning over at Texas, too.
Hell yeah.
Although Quinn Ewers is.
That's it, man. He's getting mental reps out there.
Hell yeah. But great lineup, guys. Roadmap Brewing Company out of San Antonio, Texas. Again, if you're in the area, it's definitely, if you come down for the weekend. Yeah, check them out.
Yeah. And Roadmap.
But-
Come on, dude.
That's
Yeah,
cheers,
Roadmap.
guys.
Hey, cheers.
Yeah, if you're watching this, cheers to you guys. Great beer.
Oh, they're great.
We appreciate y'all and your products. Another thing that, talking about like appreciation. My daughter started soccer, Annabelle.
Mm-hmm.
She started soccer,
Okay.
and I wasn't a soccer player growing up. But I know my wife's sport is soccer, right? So Annabelle's playing soccer. I played baseball, like youth baseball, and then in high school football and baseball. But it just got me thinking, like, as I'm out there with practices, we're doing practices, we're doing the games, practice 2 times a week, games on Saturday. We're going out there. Everyone's coming out with their kids. You bring your chairs, and all that kind of stuff. It's like, all right, we're starting to get in that youth sports phase.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me think back on like youth sports for myself as a kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss it because it's like it's when I was decent at sports. Because now, dude, I try. I've done the men's like softball leagues, and there's sometimes where I make myself proud. I'm like, I didn't know I can do that still.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other times where I'm like, I am fucking garbage.
Oh man, I have, dude. I love youth sports. Like growing up playing it, there's a lot of memories. Obviously, I grew up playing soccer and everything, and one of the biggest, I guess, core memories I have of playing soccer was my dad. And I know he's gonna watch this, and he's gonna laugh his ass off. But dude, and this started like when we were, I don't know, when I was like 13 or whatever, but I was on this team called the Howard Hurricanes.
Hell yeah.
Right? Howard Hurricane.
In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Where there's plenty of hurricanes.
Yeah. But anyways, we were out there playing soccer or whatever, and like during games, my dad might like
all the moisture.
Yeah, all the moisture.
I'm sorry. I was just like snoodling around my head. I was just like, that's so funny.
But anyways, my dad was like, he was my coach. All right. I had a coach, a head coach, but my dad was the unofficial coach.
Like assistant coach.
Yeah, but he wasn't anything part of the team.
To the coach.
Yeah, not even, dude. Like he was.
He just kind of inserted himself into the team?
Yes.
He was just
to
that
me,
guy
just me.
on the side.
To me, yes. I mean, imagine me, 13-year-old Angel, right out there, not knowing what the hell is going on. Well, I was actually pretty good at soccer, but, at halftime, usually the team runs, to the benches and, they kind of collect, whatever needs to improve or whatever, right? Well, not me, dude. My dad would be on the opposite side, over where the parents were, and it'd be like, Angel, ven aquí, ven teca, ven aquí. And dude, like, just like that, right? So my team would go that way, and me, would go this way. And my coach, dude, he respected my dad 100%. He's like, Francisco knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about here. I'm going to let him do his thing, and I'm going to coach the other kids, right? Dude, every single game, that's how it would be. And, I'd get there, and he'd be like, no, you got to do this. You got to do that. Stop doing this. And it worked, right? It worked. So that's why my coach kept letting him do that. But it's so funny
Oh my
looking
gosh.
back. It's like,
Dude,
man, just like,
that.
and like, not only that, but like during the game when I would mess up on something,
Oh yeah.
out of everything, out of all the commotion, everything going on around this field, I would always hear my dad just go, "Tss, God damn it." Dude, out of everything, like that's the one voice that I would hear out of everybody. And I
Oh
know
my
he's going to be
gosh, dude.
laughing his ass off.
Dude,
'Cause
that reminds me of my dad. So like, you know, I come from a split household, right? So like, my parents divorced when I was younger, and like at first things weren't on good terms. Now they're on great terms, you know. But like growing up, I remember playing little league ball. Our field, so we'd have like the baseball field, right? Stands. But it was kind of like down a hill, and then like up at the top was a parking lot. So there'd be like a hill and a parking lot, and there'd be fences, and like you can, you know, go up to the fence by the parking lot and look down on the major league field and like watch the game, right? And so my mom would be down in the crowd, you know, and my dad would just park his car up at the top of the hill. And dude, I just remember, like, I didn't know if my dad was gonna be at every game. Now my dad my dad is an amazing father, right? And he was super supportive, and he truly, like, everything that he worked to teach us, when it comes to sports or life or whatever, was always for like our betterment, right? To like make us the best we could be. Which at the time didn't feel like that. It was like, dude, I'm in fucking trouble, you know. But it's like everything, like looking back on it, it's like he just wanted us to be like the best versions of ourselves and to be better. He always told us like he wanted us to be better than him, you know. So it was like I totally like see that and appreciate that. But it was hilarious because I just remember being like in Little League, and sometimes, you know, if Dad had to work late, like I would get to a Little League field and I'd go out, and I mostly played third base, but every now and then I'd be on the right field. And I just remember like looking up on the hill, and I didn't see Dad, and I'd be like, thank God. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Like I can make mistakes, you know, and I'll be okay. But like, dude, if I like went out there and I'd be like, oh shit, Dad's here. God damn. I'm like, how am I gonna get yelled at? I better play good, you know? And like if I had a good game, dude, it was all good. But if I like, you can hear my dad up at the top of the hill. Shoop! Swing the bat! What are you doing? like, I'm just like shaking. I'm like, God, I gotta swing on this next one. And then I'd fucking strike out and be like. And then I just remember, like on Sundays, dude, like I would go home with my mom. You know, I mean, we'd go home, you know, and then like, I just knew, dude. I'd be like, I'm just waiting for that phone call. And then all of a sudden the phone would ring and my mom would pick it up. Hello, Nicholas, it's your father. And I'd be like, oh no. God damn it. Hi, Dad. What are you doing out there, son? You struck out 3 times today. Huh? You're not keeping your eye on the ball. And I'd be like, yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I'll try better next time. You know, but it's just like, it's just fun to look back on those things because it's like, you know, like at the time, dude, I thought it was like the worst feeling in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
disappointing your dad like that.
dude, like I am the worst kid ever, you know? But now looking back, I'm just like, dude, he just wanted to see me do well, you know? Like,
right.
And now me as a parent watching Anna play soccer, I've never played fucking soccer. You know, like I've understood as I've gotten older, especially since I've, you know, married Brittany. It's like I've started to understand soccer a lot more, and the rules and all that kind of stuff, and how it's played. But it's like, you know, I'll sit here do things, and I'm just like, oh my God, girl, come on, you got to get in there, you know? Like she's not very aggressive, you know? So it's like, come on, like what are you doing? You know, it's like I get like frustrated, but I'm like, I see it now. Like I see this whole like parent being the parent in youth sports now.
You're about to be like,
bitch, run! Yeah. Like, fucking take her head off, okay? Just get in there, slide tackle.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's some good memories, dude.
Yeah, I got I got a couple of them. I was lucky enough that my parents never coached, mainly for the fact that my dad never played sports. He was I think he maybe did some, but in high school he was a band nerd, dude. He was
Hell yeah, brother.
What did he play?
He played the trumpet.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Even better, dude.
At
least it wasn't like clarinet or something.
No, I mean,
The flute.
And my dad is like, he's pretty music versed.
Mm-hmm.
All of his family members are. But so I just remember as I was in, you know, the early Pop Warner leagues, and it was my first or second year playing football, and it was like when we finally were like through the bullshit fucking flag football, and I wasn't super good, but I was pretty quick, and so they were playing me on defense during practice, and I just kept like coming off the corner and just getting to the quarterback. And they were like, you know, of course my dad's like, I'm so proud of you, boy. And I was like, oh, Dad. And then
Nothing
they
like
were
making
like,
your dad proud, dude.
Nah. And then they were like, bring in Marquise Anderson, big old black dude.
Oh shit!
who proceeded to go to the same high school as me, get a full scholarship to Oklahoma.
Oh my
Anyways,
god!
so they were like, okay, you're going to come and kick punt out when he comes on the edge. Anyways, they blew me the fuck up, rocked me. And after that, they were like, let's put this boy on defense. And then they were like, Matt, you can go and take a seat. So it was like,
but you made it to state, right? Or
yeah. We when I was coming up through school, we made it through my sophomore year. We won it. All the way. We won the state championship my sophomore year. My junior year, we went all the way to state and lost right at the end.
Are you were steel?
Yeah. And then my senior year, we went to the semifinals and lost.
Yeah.
So it was like we just progressively got a little bit worse.
Yeah, dude. When we were in high school, we played my junior year, which is the year I tore my shoulder, so I didn't get to play in the CIF championship game. But CIF was like our, you know, like the California State Athletics, and we made it to CIF championship for our you know division, and we got to play at what was Qualcomm Stadium. Now they tore it down and rebuilt it, but it was where the Chargers played. And I just remember, like, you know, I still got to wear my pads and stuff because you had to wear, like, for the championship game, you had to wear pads, otherwise, like, you weren't allowed on the sidelines. So even though I was injured, I'm still in my pads and like just like coming out the fucking tunnel, and like you're looking up at Qualcomm Stadium. No, it's not nearly as filled, right? It's like, I mean, it's probably the same amount filled with Chargers fans as it is now, but but it's like the lower level was like filled with like all the high school, you know, from us, and then we played Poway, and it was like it's just a cool feeling, like running out like an NFL field, and you're like,
well, that's
damn,
how, yeah, that's how I
all
felt.
the memories, and like LaDainian Tomlinson scored, like here, you know, Antonio Gates, all those guys.
Yeah, when I was a senior, and when we went and lost in the semifinals, we played Katy, which Katy was fucking super powerhouse. And if you've never seen their high school, it's bonkers.
Oh yeah, it looks better than most colleges in the U.S.
Yeah, for real. But anyways, we lost to them, and I just remember I was in the Baylor locker room, and we're all sitting there on our chairs, and everyone's fucking sad. And I was like, bitch, I'm snagging this. Like, you know, the little cover that goes on the chair that has like the schools.
Oh yeah.
I was like, pop that off. I was like, if I'm gonna lose, I'm taking this seat cover with me.
Yeah, it's mine now, bitches.
I had that Baylor seat cover for a long time, and then when Maverick was born, I was like, I'll put it on the wall. And Maverick's mom was like, no.
Aww.
So I don't know what ended up happening to it, but I had it for a while.
That's funny.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Good memories. But we will kick it off now with the NFL bets of the week, you know, and the upsets of the week. So
Our
I don't know who wants to go.
And our upsets.
Yeah, so I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll go first.
All right.
Since y'all went first with the beer.
Aye, sir.
All right. So my lock of the week, I'm going to take the Chargers over the Raiders.
Okay.
Okay. You know, the Raiders are mediocre at best. I think the Chargers had a rough get-go. They grinded out a good game against the Vikings last week, which, you know, the Vikings, even though the Vikings are 0-3, I think the Vikings are probably the best 0-3 team. It's definitely not the Bears, I'll tell you that. I think even a loss, like counting a loss, is too good for us.
I'm sorry,
It's
man.
just like, give us, like, our record should just say NA, not applicable. Like, you just don't.
I'm sorry.
This doesn't.
There's
meet
still
the
hope,
param-
Nick. There's
this
still
doesn't
hope,
meet the
okay?
parameters of
Yeah.
an NFL game.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But yeah, no. So like, you know, the Chargers grinded out a good game, even though like there was some questionable calls, and the Vikings, you know, kind of blew it there at the end. I do like the Chargers. I know that they lost Mike Williams. He tore his ACL, so he's out. But they did draft what's his name, Quentin something, out of TCU, who can fill in. who I think has a lot of potential. So I'm going to take the Chargers over the Raiders.
Okay.
Sorry, Raiders fans. Like Tyler, I'm sorry to you and all your brothers, but
Nerds and all you other criminals.
Okay.
and that also hurts just picking the Chargers because fuck them, but I just see that as my lock of the week.
Okay.
My upset, and some people might be like, is this an upset? But I think it's an upset. I'm going to take the Texans over the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
The Steelers are 3.5-point favorites going into the weekend. They just, got a good win over the Raiders, right? I think they played the Raiders. So, Kenny Pickett's playing well, but I like what the Texans are doing. C.J. Stroud has played fantastic in his first 3 games as an NFL starter. He's already thrown for over 300 yards in a game. He's got good pieces around him with Robert Woods, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Damian Pierce, Dalton Schultz. Their offense is good. Their coach, DeMeco Ryans, has that defense doing pretty well. So I like what the Texans are doing. I think they had the firepower to take out the Steelers. They're playing in Houston. So give me the Texans over the Steelers.
Okay.
We're in there.
Right on. Shit, we're low on battery.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's burn through them then.
Let's burn through them. Okay.
Burn.
Nice, man. Okay. Good picks, bro. So what I got this week is my bet, or I guess my lock, would be Bills over the Dolphins. I think that one, the Bills defense I feel like they've been performing, especially last week. They performed pretty well. So I'm going to take that one. I know it should be an upset, but I think the upset this week, I'm going to do the Packers over the Lions in Lambeau Field, legendary Lambeau Field. I saw that the Lions were favored to win that game, but
That didn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna take it, dude. I'm gonna take it.
I would take
Packers
the
over the
Packers, too.
Lions.
Absolute hot trash. Okay. Those are good picks, but I will say my lock. I'm gonna take the Eagles over the Commanders.
Okay, yeah,
They're
we'll
not
take
the
that.
Redskins anymore.
Obvi.
Dude, I just think Jalen Hurts is playing at a super high level, and I think he's locked in. And I want obviously the Cowboys to win, but it's just like I saw how locked in he was after he lost last year, and it's like there's a part of me that's like pulling for him. So I think the Eagles are gonna just smoke them. My upset, I think the Browns are gonna beat Baltimore.
Dang.
I don't know,
okay.
man. I've always thought that. Freaking Lamar is just a little overhyped, a little bit. I don't know. I think
Fair
Lamar
enough.
Jackson's super good, but it's just like I think that the Browns they're doing well. They're 2-1. I mean, it's not great. Deshaun Watson's looking to just rub anybody out he can. So
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm hoping he'll rub these Ravens out.
Yeah, just just rub them out, dude.
Just pull the feathers off.
All right, gents. Well, hey, great episode today, guys. If you're still watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and just follow us, dude. We're cool dudes.
Yeah, dude.
And share.
And share,
It's
baby.
number 10, dude. Come on now.
Yeah, number 10. We're consistent every Thursday, baby. We release a episode at 9 a.m., so check it out. And, yeah, man.
And thank you to Roadmap Brewery. 'Cause the shits
Roadmap
are great.
Brewery.
Amen.
Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a good week. See you next week.